Sounds good.
All right, we're back, everybody, on Open Line on this Thursday night, talking about an important topic, and that's motorcycle safety and Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, which is the month of May, and it's good timing because the weather is getting much better, and everybody on two wheels is, getting back out on the roads and enjoying themselves as they have a right to do, but we all want them to stay safe. We want to talk with my panel a little more about some of the statistics. I have here that the most common causes of motorcycle crashes, and we talked about this, driving under the influence, drugs and alcohol, speed, and then other drivers. What about enforcement? I mean, what do you look for? Can you spot a motorcycle rider who's under the influence more than maybe obvious, where you can see a car that's maybe drifting and going too slow, too fast?
Actually, yes, there are specific characteristics to a motorcycle rider who's operating the bike under the influence. Instead of staying more so in the center of the lane, they'll stay focused on either the shoulder, where the white fog line is, or the center line, because they're just trying to follow that line, that path. Obviously, they're very slower. They may operate slow or erratic speeds and so forth, but they do tend to stay to one side of the roadway a little bit more than the other, just because they cannot. They can't recollect how fast things are coming towards them. Their motor skills are slower, as what alcohol and drugs tend to do to you, obviously. So yeah, there are specific characteristics you can look at.
Let's talk a little bit more about spreading the word and awareness and some of these initiatives. I know you mentioned the Look Twice and this pilot program. Do you work with, I know there are motorcycle clubs, motorcycle groups that people belong to. Now we have social media where you can reach out via Facebook and other platforms to kind of get the word out. To keep everyone as safe as possible, right?
Yes. With social media, we are trying to utilize video a lot more to actually show what a motorcycle crash would look like and how a car driver can be inattentive or not see a motorcyclist. So we're putting out examples where you may see a car vehicle that turns left and the blind spot where that motorcyclist could be at an intersection, or where a car vehicle is changing lanes and of course sees that blind spot again. So really being aware of the area around your vehicle is very helpful. A lot of car vehicles have sensors to where it'll beep, beep, beep if you get close enough. So those new technological features, of course, can be helpful. But really, when you're looking behind you and backing out, actually lift your butt up and turn around to look behind you, because you, of course, could possibly not be able to gauge the distance well and see behind you. So there's just a lot of helpful tips that we are spreading online and on our website, tntrafficsafety.org. We put a lot of data, statistics, and helpful safety tips on there as well.
All right, let's go to the phones. Who was it again, Taylor? Give me a name. Raymond. All right, let's hit this. Raymond, welcome to Open Line. Raymond, you there?
Yeah.
Just turn your TV set down because there's a little bit of a delay, and talk over the phone. Go ahead.
Okay. I got two questions. One is, what's the smallest size motorcycle could be rode on the interstate?
Okay. And what's your other question?
And the other one is, mopeds allowed on the interstate?
Like just the smaller scooters, right? I don't know about the interstate, but we'll ask Lieutenant Miller about this. Hang on the line here, Raymond. Go ahead.
If memory serves, the smallest motorcycle that's allowed on interstate is a 125cc engine, and no, scooters are not allowed on interstate. They cannot maintain the minimum speed on the interstate, so therefore they are not allowed on interstate.
They make them, 650s now and stuff. I was just wondering about them.
You're talking about mopeds, or?
Yeah, the Vespas back in my day, there were mopeds. Yeah,
they would have to be able to maintain the speed limit. If they cannot maintain the speed limit, and obviously they're not permitted.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Raymond,
thank you.
Good call. Appreciate it. Just make sure I'm hitting that right. It's funny you brought that up, because I have a newer car that now has the blind spot monitoring, and it really has saved me a few times. where you don't think, and the light goes on, and I start to shift lanes, and I head back, and there's a little smaller car or something.
Great technology.
I hope it becomes standard eventually in all cars, because that could help a lot, especially with motorcycles. Are there other areas of the state where there's going to be targeted enforcement? I mentioned the Natchez Trace. I know that a lot of regular manual bicyclists like to go on the Natchez Trace, but I've seen motorcyclists out there as well.
Well,
we have a lot of scenic roadways in Tennessee.
Tennessee is a very beautiful state, and and that's one of our main draws to Tennessee is the scenery. And many people come here from all over the country and even the world internationally to come here to see our wonderful state. But our colonel has really emphasized to the troopers across the state to focus on enforcement, to make sure that those people who are driving aggressively, who are putting themselves and others in danger, we stop those drivers, we educate those drivers, and we take the proper action with those drivers. And I say drivers, also I'm referring to operators of motorcycles. So we have 95 counties in the state of Tennessee. We're focused on all 95. Tennessee Highway Patrol, we don't take a break as far as what our enforcement efforts are. And with this going into spring and summer, we do have an extra emphasis on motorcycles because, as Ms. Tabson said, those bikes are coming out of the garage. They're coming out of storage. Riders have been itching all winter to get on these bikes, and they're ready to ride. So we need them to ride safely. And also, we want to stress to the new operators of motorcycles, we have a driver safety class that you can take with the Tennessee Department of Safety, motorcycle training course. Right. We really stress to new operators and even those people who might have been riding for a while, refresh your skills. Take a operator safety course and really familiarize yourself with how the bike operates and the rules of the road and how they pertain to a motorcycle.
What does that entail, this safety course?
But it's an educational aspect as far as letting you know how to operate the bike, what to do in certain situations if you were to lose control of the bike, how to brake the bike.
Is it online only, or do they go to?
It's an actual go-to hands-on physical course. If you do not have a motorcycle, the motorcycles are on site to be provided for you.
So great.
They're a little bit smaller bikes, but they're still able to.
Is there a fee?
There is a fee. You can go. I apologize, I do not have that information, but you can go onto the Tennessee Department of Safety website and under our motorcycle safety program and be able to find that information out.
But I'm sure it's well worth it to get those tips. And
yes,
I failed to mention that there are a number of officers who are on motorcycles themselves out there.
We have several troopers on bikes.
Yeah. So we have to understand that they know what they're doing. They're out there as well. We've got to watch out for them.
Definitely. Thank you for that.
All right, let's go to, I believe it's David. Hi, David.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead. Welcome to OpenLine.
Thank you, Rory, and thank you for your guest. My question or comment is, with these new ATVs and cross bikes that are basically meant for the off-roading, I was wondering if the Tennessee Highway Patrol, Metro Police, instead of trying to be aggressively reactive, if they could be more considerate and positive as far as maybe having some of these guys who are doing amazing trips. I mean, despite what you may think, they have some amazing skills, some of them. If we couldn't find a place whether it's at the National Speedway or somewhere else where they could literally perform and receive prizes of some type, or vouchers for something, instead of just trying to say, well, we want to get them and lasso them up and throw them all in a cage. Because I've seen where there's been drag racing and everything like that, where police had a sting and they tried to surround cars for drag racing. Most of those people got away and they were in cars. When you try to get somebody in a motorcycle that has more maneuverability and an easier way to get out of situations, it's just not going to really get you the results that you want. Also, I would like to ask the lieutenant, I was at OpenLine Hotel last week, and there were a whole bunch of Tennessee Highway Patrol Explorers with these trailers on the back, and they had a whole bunch of Highway Patrol motorcycles at this hotel. I was just wondering what was that about, if he knows anything about it. And I'll hang up and listen.
All right, David, thank you for the call. We'll start with him saying he wants more proactive instead of reactive.
Well, that's a unique question, unique comment. The interstates and the roadways are for safe operation. and there are rules for everyone's safety. That's why the rules are there. There are clubs and organizations for people to join, and where you can go to locations and venues that you can rent and ride your bikes or ride your horses or whatever type of club that you're interested in. The interstates are not your playground. That's pure and simple. Understand that. It's not your playground.
Right.
And you're not going to be allowed to risk your life or the life of someone else.
And it's THP's job to enforce the laws.
It is our job to enforce law. If we try to stop you, and we're stopping you for your safety, just because we're trying to stop you from an action that you're doing as unsafe does not mean you're going to be arrested.
Right.
So please understand that. Let me stress that to everyone. That doesn't mean you're going to be arrested. Please don't engage in a pursuit.
That you're going to get a citation.
You may not. It could be a simple
depends on
warning.
the situation, right?
So, so I want to stress that, please. Please do not use the interstates as a playground, and if you do get approached by law enforcement for a traffic stop, don't engage in trying to flee and then get involved in a pursuit. That person who's being pursued, the person who's fleeing, that person by law is responsible for every action that happens during that pursuit. So if that person was to wreck and kill a rider, kill someone else, or injure someone else, that charge is on that person.
It very rarely ends well.
It does not. And pursuits are on the rise in Tennessee. They're on the rise across the nation. Why? There's many different reasons why that we can speculate pursuits are increasing. But again, I stress to you with just complete compassion to you, and I ask and pray that you do not use the interstates as a playground. Rent a location and try to do that in a controlled, safe environment.
All right, and he mentioned something about out at Opryland.
Yes, that was a partnership with the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. That was a Music City. It's called the Music City Rodeo. It was a motorcycle training skills exercise. There was actually police motorcyclists that came all the way from Canada, California, Washington State that came to Tennessee to compete in this skills competition.
And THP has the Falcons, right?
THP has the Falcons, which I am proud to say that a Tennessee State Trooper, a Falcon motorcycle operator, won the competition.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
And skills, those bikes are heavy.
Those
are big bikes. They're
big bikes. We run Harleys. And it's amazing when you see the Harley Davidson, you think of a big, bulky machine, but the bikes are so balanced, they're so well made, and they maneuver so flawlessly with the training that these troopers have.
That's great. You need to check it out sometime. That was it was the 7th annual, right? Music City Police Motorcycle Skills and Training Competition.
I believe so.
At Opry Mills, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was at Opry Mills.
Yeah, that is annual.
Okay, we're going to take another break. I've got, I think Daryl is holding on line 2. Daryl, hang in there. We'll take a quick break and come back and take your call. We'll be right back.
I can only get